possessions, appearances, and comparisons. Emily had lived in the same cozy house on Oak Street for nearly 2 decades. She had always been the more reserved of the two women, content with her modest home, her carefully curated garden, and her quiet life. Carol, on the other hand, had moved in next door about 5 years ago. With her impeccable sense of style, her perfectly manicured lawn, and a house that could have been plucked out of a luxury magazine, Carol seemed to have it all. But it wasn't just her possessions that got under Emily's skin. It was the way Carol seemed to have everything Emily didn't. The latest car, the designer clothes, and most notably, the grand, extravagant Christmas displays that began appearing in her front yard in early December. Every year, Carol's holiday decorations grew more elaborate, more opulent. A giant inflatable Santa would appear first, followed by shimmering lights that danced around her house in a mesmerizing display. By Christmas Eve, her lawn was filled with large illuminated reindeer, an oversized nativity scene, and even a snow machine that sprayed foam into the cold winter air. It was a sight to behold, and it made Emily's modest decorations, 2 small wreaths on the windows, a simple tree inside, look like a forgotten afterthought. At first, Emily had admired Carol's efforts. She thought it was a beautiful display of holiday spirit. But then, as the years went by, a sense of resentment began to grow in her heart. She began to wonder if Carol was intentionally showing off, subtly competing with her at every turn. The Christmas lights, the expensive gifts, the attention Carol received from the neighbors, it all felt like a constant reminder of what Emily didn't have. And so a silent war began. Emily started decorating her house with a little more flair, adding extra lights to her porch, even putting up a larger tree. But it never felt like enough. Carol's displays only got bigger, more over the top, and Emily, in her frustration, found herself sinking deeper into bitterness, unable to break free from the cycle of comparison. One evening, as December approached its final days, Emily found herself gazing out of her window at Carol's yard. The lights twinkled in the darkening evening, the massive snow globe in the center of the lawn reflecting the glow of 1,000 colorful bulbs. She sighed and turned away. It was the same as every other year, a reminder of everything she lacked. But this time, something felt different. It was then that a sharp knock echoed from her front door. Opening it, Emily was taken aback to find Carol standing there, holding a basket of fresh-baked cookies in her hands. Carol, dressed in a soft, cozy sweater and a woolen scarf, looked almost apologetic, as if she too recognized the tension between them. She didn't speak immediately, but held out the basket with a small, hesitant smile. "Hi, Emily," she said softly, the words feeling foreign in the cold air. I thought you might like some cookies. I baked too many and, well, I figured it was time we talked." Emily blinked, unsure of what to say. They hadn't exchanged more than a few words in over a year, and the sudden appearance of Carol, especially with a gift in hand, was more than a little unexpected. I don't know what to say," Emily said, her voice unsure. "You're right, we haven't really spoken." The air is thick with unspoken emotions as they stand facing each other, the warmth of the holiday season contrasting with their tension. Carol's smile faltered slightly. "I know, and I want to apologize for everything." Emily raised an eyebrow, her guard still up. "What do you mean?" "The lights, the decorations, the constant comparison," Carol said, glancing at the extravagant display in her own yard. "I never meant for it to make you feel bad. Honestly, it was never about you. It was more about me trying to keep up with everyone else. I got caught up in it, and it turned into something ugly." Emily stood there processing Carol's words. A part of her wanted to snap back, to point out all the ways Carol's displays made her feel inferior. But instead, she found herself lowering her defenses. "I'm not blameless either," Emily admitted, taking a breath. "I've let it get to me. I've been comparing myself to you, to everything you have. I thought I could keep up, but it only made me miserable." There was a long silence between them, the weight of years of unspoken words hanging in the air. Then, Carol stepped forward and placed the basket of cookies on Emily's porch. "You know," Carol said quietly, "I'd love to spend Christmas together this year. No competition, no keeping score, just 2 neighbors enjoying the holiday." Emily was taken aback. It felt like the last thing she had expected, but it also felt like the right thing to do. They had both been fighting the wrong battle. There was no need for comparison when what truly mattered was the shared joy of the season. They had both been fighting the wrong battle. There was no need for comparison when what truly mattered was the shared joy of the season. "Okay," Emily said, smiling for the first time in a long while. "I think that would be nice." And so the two women came together. That Christmas there were no extravagant displays of wealth, no flashy decorations or excessive gifts. Instead, Carol helped Emily bake cookies, and Emily taught Carol how to make her grandmother's famous hot chocolate. They spent the day chatting, laughing, and enjoying each other's company as they hung simple ornaments on a modest tree. The rivalry that had once consumed them seemed a distant memory, replaced by a genuine sense of peace. On Christmas Eve, as they stood together on Emily's porch, gazing at the soft glow of their combined decorations, simple but full of meaning, the rivalry seemed like a distant memory. "Next year," Emily said, "let's just promise to be neighbors, no more keeping up." Carol laughed softly, nodding. "Agreed, and maybe, just maybe, I'll skip the giant inflatable snowman." Emily chuckled. "I'll hold you to that." And in that moment, under the twinkling lights of a modest Christmas tree, the two women realized that the true magic of the season wasn't in the material possessions they once measured each other by. It was in the warmth of reconciliation, the joy of sharing, and the understanding that they had finally let go of the things that divided them. For the first time in years, both neighbors felt the peace